Greetings.
Greetings, minions.
Yes.
So I take it we are really starting this time.
Yes.
A lot has happened since last time. Again. It has this time been a week. And why don't we tell people all the things that has happened, or at least a fraction of them, in what's going on. I think we'll do that probably after the recap. Should we do a recap first? I think that makes sense.
Okay.
What's the recap?
I won't be able to. I have no idea.
If someone tells me where or what we did when we started, I might be able to.
I got a serious on the roll.
Okay. Good enough.
Of course you did. Very well. I believe we started last time going out to do the recruiting, then we ran into treants, if I remember.
Oh.
Which, the treants were interesting to fight. They were supposedly protecting the horn, and since we were evil, conflict, etc., etc. We then afterwards we ran across a lot of kobolds, of which many were slaughtered. Some of which are now recruited under current Arkdawn's command, and living in the caves, I believe. Other than that, I don't actually remember what happened, if anything else happened. So someone else will need to fill in if I missed something.
We went to the orphanage.
Yes, we went shopping.
We did. We went to the orphanage.
Kids are us.
For all of us, including Karen, I think, we recruited recruited people to our cause.
Yeah, because if we're gonna start an evil organization, we need people. Minions
And
to do
lots
our
of-
evil bidding.
We drained the orphanage dry.
Yeah. Sure did. But, we helped the city. It's like, all of these young kids found families.
Yes, families.
Oh, yes.
Then we returned, and now we have a new set of recaps to do.
Yes. Because I don't know how much Rahal is showing you, but there's a lot of stuff that's been going on.
Yeah, I'm on the 3rd floor right now, council floor.
Moving about.
It's the least decorated floor. You should go
We can
down.
sort of zoom out and show sort of the amount of stuff that's been put in here.
Uh-huh.
The horn has been, instead of a picture, it's been reproduced
Yes.
in actual file. And as such, it's also been decorated.
For a combination of all our works.
Everyone has made their organizations, and they have decorated their own areas as they saw fit, using rooms from the Pathfinder book, complete. What was it? Ultimate Campaign.
Yep.
Yeah, we have taken the rooms, they have paid the money, and they will get the benefits. This is where the minions will live and work and serve.
Yes.
Yes. So, how many actions do you actually have with your organizations? I believe Asurius has 2 actions.
Everyone but me has 1.
I was just thinking that Marquez might also, but he's not. He doesn't have
No,
quite
I'm
enough.
not
then.
close enough.
He doesn't have.
Which
I know he
means that
doesn't.
Asurius has rather a larger organization, or sort of a bit larger than the others.
It's well commanded.
Nice structure, and well, we'll set up to be people.
And he's so dreamy, so...
Yeah, of course.
That's my other method of getting them to work.
Yeah, a nice firm handshake actually pays off a lot.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, here we are.
Yeah, here we are.
And you were sitting in your chairs, probably. Maybe at the beginning of a meeting, as you've gotten the tells from your organizations that pretty much all of you have perhaps done the initial training. We'll go through what that was in just a second. And your minions, your students, your soldiers, your guys, have been doing rather well, actually. They've been doing great in the way, as to what can be expected of them, of course. yeah, how did you train your initial batch of people? Let's start with Marcus and go down from there.
Marcus will have instructed them in basic combat and like kind of like an introduction to what they're doing as Hell Knights. Yeah, I mean, nothing too special. Basically, instructing them on how to use the military equipment that they'll be using all the time, essentially. Just like as a basic training kind of thing.
Sure, so basic combat training.
Yeah.
Most of these I believe the ones Marcus got at least, have actually sort of done a little bit of gang warfare almost in the city. They're sort of a rougher kind of people, so they probably already knew a thing or two, but certainly more refined on, for example, armor and shield use has not been something they've really been doing.
Yeah, and like a more kind of sophisticated style of fighting, more focused on singular warrior combat instead of like group fighting.
Getting up and beating someone with cudgels doesn't really count.
Yeah.
Sure. Zacharias?
Zacharias being very much his organization is supposed to be an intelligence gathering organization, an organization for research and stuff, and so he will have basically subjected most of the youngsters that was sent to him. He would have subjected them to sort of a basic magic aptitude test, seeing what kind of do they have, what innate potential do they have. If they had none, maybe he has sent them to some other organization or some such. But also he has tested their minds, basically like logic puzzles, quizzes, things like that. Not really testing knowledge, because knowledge, they haven't had any education, so they can't have much knowledge. But their mind should be keen from the start. It takes much less work to work with a natural aptitude for something, and that is what he wants. So yes, basically a form of magic and intelligence test is what he has been subjecting them to. Also basic instructions then, those who succeeded in like magical theory, application of arcane stratagems, basic instruction in crafting things, like how do we go about researching magic, introducing library, study of language, things like that. He has basically like first week, read these 1,000 pages. There will be a test. I want to complete your papers by Monday. Things like that.
Right. Those who got overwhelmed should never have come.
Indeed. And we have tried out wands at Ollivander's, and and that's it.
Asurius?
Azurius had an interesting time doing the training for all of his minions. Starting off, he tested each one in both their physical abilities and then the mental abilities. When it comes to many different ways, testing which one of them have enough willpower and patience to possibly become acolytes, and which ones are strong enough to become knights to help defend his organization. Very, very much. Those after everyone was sorted, they would have been sent each to do some form of training. The knights would have been sent to the training room or sent to do laborious tasks. The acolytes would have been sent to study or sent to meditate or pray within his sanctum. He would have also given most of them classes in many different ways of teamwork. As teamwork is a very important part, the combat training would be very teamwork orientated. Also, many of the acolytes would also have been given training in medical aid, to be able to aid anyone who gets injured and have to put in the infirmary. As well as giving them a very, quite a stern and strict, talk about basically how the entire structure of the organization works, all the ranks, and how they might one day be able to move up the ranks, maybe even become a sentinel or a bishop. And that's it.
Alright. That's in cash.
Cash has done some survival training and been taking them hunting to learn to sneak in on animals at first, and also been learning them self-defense. But most of all, it's been the hunting to sneak up and learn how to be sneaky.
Alright. And Kyron?
And Kyron has made sure that his minions definitely know that he is the leader, the only one they are answering to, and that if he says something, even if it doesn't sound like a command, it most definitely is. And other than that, he has been making sure that they train quite a lot, either in the dojo or like general strength training by like helping construct buildings and carrying stuff around, or chopping wood and getting logs and firewood and stuff. And other than that, he's not really the kind of person who does a lot of like weapon training, since, well, if you don't know how to use a weapon, he thinks you're dumb because weapons are easy and you just swing them. So yeah, he's mostly focusing on strength and determination and making sure that they know their place. And he's also been making sure that the kobolds get situated down in the caves, making sure that the boggarts don't eat them, and also explaining to his more or less human, or well, more or less they are human minions to, for now, stay away from the caverns and stay in either outside or in the actual complex.
Sure. Does the inn, now refurnished, actually serve all the minions of the place?
Yes.
Sort of. What sort of food?
Well,
do they produce what you want, or is there like a daily?
Is the
dish
barkeeper
select?
that the Baron tried to organize here already?
Yes. Yes.
If he is here, then the tavern will be up and running. It will offer mostly meat, of course. But if Kyron ever feels like eating something really special, then it will definitely be available. But other than that, it will mostly be the same thing every day, pretty much. It's not a fancy tavern, it's just there to make sure that Kyron can get what he wants. And his taste is not really that refined.
So for most people, I hear it will be sort of nice bland gruel, while for perhaps Kyron and whoever he likes, it will be nice like roast meats.
Yeah.
Sure. So most people live from gruel and water, probably.
Delicious, nutritious gruel.
Can I have a beer? You can go drink from the fountain outside.
Yeah, the demon fountain.
What is that weird symbol?
We totally need a nice token for the innkeeper though, because we need a innkeeper.
What is this?
Sure. If you can find a nice token for shady innkeeper, shadiness is very important. He might look like a smuggler a little bit, but you know.
Jonas, this is out of your place. What is this?
What is what?
This.
The triangle in front of your bedroom.
Oh yes, that is a symbol that faintly glows on the door of Zacharias' room. If anyone comes close and sort of grabs for the handle, the rune will start glowing menacingly.
The room will explode.
Do not read it.
Yeah. If anyone with a spellcraft check can try to suss out what a rune does.
Oh.
So, serious, what have you know?
When a male or female bar.
I think Kyron was fighting one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
He was male.
How about this guy? He looks shady.
That guy?
He looks shady. I don't know. If you have a better one, go ahead.
I mean, we can make it that guy.
I thought I saw one.
The guy who dropped in the bar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not that guy.
That guy, really?
A wizard?
The token is called Wizard, yeah. Well, if you have a better one, go ahead. I don't.
I'll see what I can find.
Hey, Jonas, is that a level 7 or lower spell?
How
Yes.
about this guy?
You do. Who?
He put
Like
the
a
acolyte
villain or
put
something.
down.
What?
Yeah, acolyte of Mitras.
Oh,
Yeah, it's probably not our innkeeper.
probably not.
Drink the soup.
Well, they didn't put the
Healthy.
Healthy.
Oh.
Sure, you can find some shady-looking people. He's the kind of guy who would like to run a
No.
like this guy, maybe. It's kind of he's a little war scarred, perhaps.
Oh. Well, I'll find one eventually.
Yeah, sure.
What spell did I see during this?
It is explosive runes or fire runes. Basically, they will explode in a torrent of fire if anyone tries to open a door without saying a special keyword.
Amusing. Azurius will be pleased by this and comment to you at some point.
Yes, well, you can't have your lackeys or anyone else just run into your private chambers now, can you?
Yes. So we begin here at a meeting. I would assume that you have sort of weekly meetings. On what day will your meetings be taking place?
Friday evenings at 9 o'clock.
That could certainly be. But maybe at morning would be better. Or rather, sort of earlier.
Maybe the last day of the week or the first day of the week.
So Sunday or Monday.
I feel Sunday morning possibly.
Sunday morning.
Church time.
Okay.
Church time.
Well, everyone is in the chapel, which we don't have. Well, we have,
we have
but
this.
you
There's
get
a
this.
meeting in the brothel. Yeah.
Yep.
That is a big chapel, but if people are people generally allowed to go up here?
No. Third level will be off limits, I think.
Right.
It is off limits. No going up.
No one is going up here.
Plus, anyway, they'll fall down the trapdoor and land in my prison anyway.
So yeah, you're here meeting then Sunday, probably at midday, I assume.
Yes. Sounds good to me.
What about this guy I put there?
Hi.
You wanted a shady guy. That's
He
very
It may
is-
be,
shady.
I
He
feel
looks-
that man is possessed.
How about
Might
this
look a
guy?
bit evil.
This guy looks pretty
There's a
shady.
fine line between evil and shady.
He's the kind of guy who'd sell you out
Yep.
in a moment.
I posted a link to a guy. I think he works.
But he's a venture captain.
Yeah, well, you ignore that thing at the
He
bottom.
got demoted.
Yeah. Not a venture captain
Anyway.
anymore, he ain't.
Man, Pathfinder Society's out a good-looking man.
Anyway, the first session of the Whispering Lords Council. Well, it's now in session.
We can go
I have
with
to
that
go
guy
to the
if you want.
bathroom.
No.
You will pee
Right,
in your honor.
so let's go in character then.
Okay. Well, Zacharias would have a lot of papers in front of him, sifting around, reading through them, making some notes, waiting for the meeting to start, basically.
Marcus is looking bored. Kind of just sitting back.
Out of
Waiting.
character, what are we supposed to do anyway? Talk about what?
About the weather.
What to do, what you have done.
You'll find once we begin the meeting.
What are you going to do now? What's the plan? The horn is operational, if you will. So what now? Yeah, you decide what you want to talk about.
Azurius will sit in his chair, place his elbows on the table, look around to everyone. I believe this is time we should now think about beginning our long ritual. Don't you all think?
Well, we have to start at some point.
And I believe most of us have our places is now operational enough. Zerus looks around. Now would be a good time to think about starting.
Zacharias makes a note in his paper. Looks up, looks at the rest of the council. I would agree. Now seems to be as good a time as any. We are not directly threatened, I think, but the more we delay, the greater risk we run of being discovered by some waves ahead, some do-gooders or whatnot. I should warn, however, that once we start a ritual, we do not exactly know what effect it will have on the spire or the environs. We are talking about quite powerful black magic, and I am afraid that initiating the ritual will turn this place into something of a well, we risk turning everyone's eye on this place. I don't know how spectacular the ritual itself will be, but we should be prepared for, well, we must defend the place if it comes to that.
They first have to get through the forest, but yes, I understand what you're saying.
We have noticed that the forest seems to not like us very much.
We should
Well,
change that.
The part of the forest that didn't like us is partially dead now.
But we can do a lot more. We could own the forest. There are still rebel kobold tribes who do not want to submit to my rule, which I very much dislike.
We can handle those at some point.
Well, I'm thinking much further, my friend. We should control the entire forest. We should have scouts everywhere, guard posts in the forest, so we know when someone approaches.
Zacharias nods. Yes, that seems like a very good idea. On the subjugation of the kobolds, how far have we gotten? Have they come back with any word? We sent them out, I seem to recall.
Menakai?
Kobolds seem to come here, but they seem to be mostly sort of scattered from many different tribes, or kobolds that have been sort of threatened with being killed, because they apparently have sympathies for dragonkin instead of the sort of the more dog-like savage kin that many prefer. It seems that the most tribes here go for sort of a more they sort of seem that dogs and hounds are sort of the thing to aspire to be. Savage and very pack-like.
So the question then becomes, of course, how do we change that? Oh, jeez. Hello?
Okay, you're kind of cutting out a bit.
I am?
Yeah, heavily.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Sorry about that.
One method to fix that might just be to show them that maybe the dragon is what to aspire to.
Kyron nods.
Put them in awe. Or
Yeah.
fear, depending on how you
Or kill them.
Yeah, how do you
Killing them is one method.
Yes, how would you propose to bring them under our control then? Kill the leaders?
That seemed to work quite well last time.
Do we have an estimate how many tribes are actually in the forest?
Menakai?
If you have asked the kobolds, they will say very different numbers, the ones who actually know numbers. So we really don't know.
Many.
Well, we could start with the immediate environs around the horn and work outwards. I think that would be the most fruitful approach.
It would be, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Zacharias nods. Yes, as I said, when we start a ritual, we might indeed attract some serious attention to this place. We are quite capable of fighting, well, many things. But we cannot be everywhere at once, and we need at least rudimentary guards. As such, he leans forward, I request the amount of gold from the treasury. For the gold, I will acquire certain spell components that will allow me to raise some undead to protect us.
Undead, you say? And what stops someone from walking in here, hitting with a mace and them just falling down?
Zachariah smiles. Ah, that's serious. You see, my undead are not like the, he waves a hand, the spillover effect of some burgeoning necromancer. No, dear friends, my undead will be deathless, as you would say. I will infuse them with a special kind of blood magic that will allow them to suffer through almost any damage and repair indefinitely. As long as I exist, or even beyond my eventual death, they would persist in this place and protect it.
Then if they got out of hand, how would you deal with it?
I can certainly unbind them if I just so choose.
And that would deal with all the issues? If they were to...
Not necessarily. They will still be mindless to a degree. Human guards are still needed. Looking over to the others. My minions are not really fit for guard duty as such.
It's fine, some of mine will be able to handle some rudimentary guard duty. I'm sure Marcus and Kyron can lend a hand with that as well.
Zacharias looks over to Cash. Lady Cash, I would actually ask something of you and your organization.
And what might that be?
We already have spies in the city of Farhold, the group of Sadira, I believe. The fourth, or the, what knot are they? The seventh? Fourth? Seventh. The seventh knot are currently in the city, but I do not trust them.
Cass smiles, naturally.
So have our own spies in the city to forewarn us of any strange activity, or even perhaps keep an eye on them from time to time. It might be beneficial.
Cash nods and says, I agree. In this case, it's good to be careful around those.
Yes. There are certain spells I could weave for us to spy on them from the scrying room we have established. It is very expensive though, and not something I think we have the resources right now to employ all the time. But our own information, I feel, is more reliable than theirs in many cases.
How much do we need it to start the sacrifice to wake up?
Sorry?
Do we have everything we need for the sacrifice?
Not quite, but enough to start.
We have enough to start, yes, for the first sacrifice. I think we have everything in place. The good Baron supplied us with a volunteer.
Well, I don't know if he's volunteering, but...
Oh, I'm sure he is.
That reminds me, we need a new brain.
Hmm?
We need a fresh brain.
Oh,
Yes.
can we perhaps borrow his?
I was thinking of that, yes.
Oh, maybe we can hurry the body downstairs then to the lab after we are initiating the ritual.
She must be quick once the sacrifice is over to move him down there, though.
Yes.
I could just have
Brain spoil so easily.
I could just have a jar ready.
Wonderful. Yes. Do we have an estimate how long it would take to rebuild the golem? We still are missing the lightning component, I seem to recall. But apart from that,
we need a few dozen lizards.
yes, thunder lizards. Let's see here. Zacharias brings forth the big book, the Dirges of Apollyon, and puts it on the table. Let's see here. we need to, once we start, at the first light of each dawn, call forth the cursing of the light, answer the spread of the Shining Lord's light with unyielding defiance. Yes, indeed, he reads slowly on it. The first midnight, we must make the first sacrifice, one of our own blood, so that we know that we are repentant. Yes, we have that fixed. Then we must, at first light of each day, call in the curse of the light. At the dusk, we must cry forth the call across the void. Looks through. Yes, we need at these intervals also to bathe the holy sigil in the unholy water of the fountain, of the pool in front of the Vitar statue. Once we start, we cannot stop. We must remain here, or at least one of us must remain here to continue the ritual at all costs.
Well, every day the ritual only takes 3 hours.
Yes.
So we can always just do the ritual. Takes 3 hours and then we all can leave.
It's true, but we must be back on to the next day.
The problem is the ritual must be done at specific times during the day.
Yeah, we cannot move far, that is the problem.
Since one must be done at dawn, one must be done at dusk, and one must be done at midnight. We must really be here for all parts of the day in the end. I mean,
Malachi, is that magical storm up in the sanctuary? Is that still going?
Yeah.
I mean, we could, from dawn till dusk, we could